Like many Sicilians in Brooklyn, I grew up in a big family. Our traditions, our music, our celebrations were paramount, with food at the core. Every family has that one dish. No matter where I went, the lingering aroma of Grandma's specialties would always be in the air. This love of food led me on a path to become a chef working in the 3-star Michelin restaurants around the world. As I began to raise my own family, I revisited those time-tested recipes from the matriarchs in my life that have always remained so cherished. So today I set out to ensure that these traditions of the world are not forgotten, that the simple pleasures of breaking bread and enjoying meaningful conversation around the table are carried on. To meet the grandmas of the world, discover their recipes and techniques that only they know to make that one special dish, so essential to all the nuances of their family life, and all of the other surprises that I may encounter along the way. So join me and my producer Anya as I run, ride, and swim my way around the globe in the pursuit of the secret ingredients. Welcome to Barcelona with a nice estrella. Today I find myself in Barcelona, the capital city of Catalonia, a region of Spain. On the first warm day of the season, I am out to explore the people, places, and culture that the city has to offer, and a few other stops along the way. And of course I treat myself to some of the local cuisine. Oh, empanadas, we can't pass this up. Oh yeah. Whenever I'm traveling, I always try to combine healthy foods and exercise wherever possible, so that I can stroll the streets and indulge in some of the more hearty local specialties. Holy shit, let's go in and try some of these hams. It's unbelievable. Yeah, look at this here. They got it lined up from the lower quality to the highest quality. Every quality is absolutely amazing.
These focans are ham of acorn.
Acorn, 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and try them.
This is 100% is 5J. It's the most famous brand. Our production is a premium, and this one is Joselito. It's another famous brand, and the flavor is more sweet.
Jamón Ibérico, or Jamón de Pata Negra, is a gourmet specialty made from exclusive black-toothed pigs, unique to the Iberian Peninsula. The meat produced by this distinctive breed of pigs is one of Spain's most highly prized delicacies. Firm, chewy, great flavor, very smooth, really awesome. It's a beautiful store. Everywhere I go, Barcelona is full of life and passion. This is my kind of perfect day, finding local treasures around the city before meeting my friend Yves at his hole-in-the-wall secret kitchen where he holds a grandma cooking school.
Be welcome. How are you? Let me come out.
Hello, guten Morgen.
Yeah, guten Morgen.
Morning.
After Eve introduced us to Grandma Adela, she was ready to show us her favorite market to get the items for her specialty, arroz caldoso con bogavante, also known as soupy rice with lobster.
So we will go to the market and choose our ingredients. We will need to do a fish broth, isn't it? Tenemos que hacer un caldito, ¿no? Sí. Vale, we will choose rock fishes. The flavor of the rock fishes is higher, intenser, so it's very suitable for fish broths. We may also combine some galeras. You will see. It's in between of a shrimp and the crab. The lobster will boil with the rice, so the flavor will be there. the most famous name is Boqueria, which is it's coming from Boc, which is the cow, you see. And it used to be open air, and on the rear they had all the animals, and they were just cutting open air on tables.
They're
and that's
butchering the cattle right in the back.
That's it.
When you come here, everybody has pride in what they're selling.
Oh yes,
and what they're
that's
doing,
a different attitude.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So Yves, why don't you take us into the market and show us some of your favorite places, and we'll see what we come up with.
Great,
All right.
here we go.
First thing I see is a counter full of the meats and the sausages and the hams.
This section here, outdoor, it's the farmer section. So they are coming directly from the
Right from the ground.
Yeah.
Look how fresh it'll are.
fava
The
beans.
fava beans, oh
yeah.
boy. Those are two of my favorite things right there, artichokes and fava beans. So deeper into the market we go.
And here we have the spinaches in the Catalan style, you see, with raisins and pine nuts.
Oh, very nice.
The Catalan style of spinach.
Let's see if we can find the seafood.
The fish was swimming a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's like shining just like it's in the ocean.
That's it. And they are showing the gills and the broncs to show the freshness.
Look at how bright that is. That's how you tell how something is fresh. I mean, it's bright red color. I mean, not even in the regular fish markets do you see something that just like came right out of the ocean.
So those are the lobsters, 36 euros the kilo. And this one, we call it langosta. Top quality is the Iberian pork. They like to eat acorns, and they like to overfeed themselves with acorns because they know these are the last fruits before the hard winter starts. And those are the oils we are tasting in the aftertaste when we eat the Iberian ham acorn fed.
Oh, thank you.
Y aquí el que suscribe. And now now all your juices are coming out. They hang on a roof like this for 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years, aging. And it's open air, and what they do is they open and close windows so the air comes in and dries the ham. They are moving the ham from one floor to another.
Wow, you can taste the nut, the butter, the oils. Even though I can sit here and eat jamon all day, we need to complete our shopping list. Who needs a restaurant when you can just walk through this market and pick out the perfect items of exactly what you want to eat? It's like the ultimate playground for chefs, right?
Oh yeah.
After a really fun time at the market, it's time to go back to our secret kitchen and cook. Let's go buy some flowers for Grandma. What flowers are your favoritos?
¿Qué problema? Me encantan los iris.
Los iris.
The
Yes.
purple ones?
The purple ones, yeah.
Yes.
Gracias mucho.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Beautiful logo from Grandma's Cooking, Barcelona. Okay, me and Grandma are going to start prepping the lobsters. Adela showed us her method of how to break down the lobster for this dish. Separating the tail, and cutting them into pieces, and getting the claws ready. Now that she's shown me how it's done, she let me give it a try. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Put all that nice roe in here, all that green roe. That's gonna make everything smell and taste really good.
Talking about the lobster, it used to be like a luxury ingredient, lobster, no? It's like very special occasion. And now it's like more affordable, no? And soupy rice with lobster. Yeah, it's not a dish every household is cooking because they think it's very complicated. In fact, you need to deal with the beast.
Yeah, that's right.
Pero no es complicado.
Yeah,
So it's her favorite and most demanded dish. At her house in Christmas time, it's lobster time, yeah.
From the corazon.
Yes, es verdad.
Yeah, that's
Es que si cocinas, tienes que cocinar con amor.
Love is a crucial ingredient, she says.
that's right.
Yeah. Without love, you are missing the intention.
And how do you say? And all of the grandchildren are so happy.
Y los nietos felices, ¿no?
Bueno, más los padres.
Oh,
Y los amigos de los padres.
yeah, the fathers of the grandchildren. Ron, do you know this fish? It's a little one, that's why we will use it for the fish broth, but this is called the St. Peter's fish.
Oh yeah, I've had St. Peter's fish in Israel.
We say it's the fish of the miracles because we have Jesus' fingerprints on both sides, you see. So
I've never heard that.
he took the fish and he did the thing, you see. Here we have one and on the other side we have the other one.
You have to remove this, basically the intestines of the fish, or else it's going to give a poor flavor.
Yeah, poor and a little bit bitter.
Yeah.
Clean. That's like a substitute to put the fishes in the oven.
From the bones comes the gelatin of the fish.
Parsley.
Okay.
Grandma is asking for a bay leaf.
1 bay leaf.
We need this kind of boiling for the fish broth, intensively boiling.
While the broth simmers, we'll move on to the sofrito.
Sofrito is a crucial thing in the Catalan and Spanish cuisine. We start the dishes with the sofrito. Sofrito means long time fried. So when we cook a paella, for instance, we add the grated tomatoes. So we will turn it into a paste. And that's the start of the dishes, the sofrito.
We just put the pepper, parsley, and tomato mixture into the hot olive oil, so that's going to reduce down. Oh my God. So that's a smoked paprika.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've never smelled so perfect.
Smell it.
Se llama de la vera.
That's it, smoke.
Perfect. Here's your secret ingredient right here.
And white wine.
Rápidamente.
Okay.
Ahora ya tiene aroma.
The smells already in the kitchen are so nice, and it's just the very beginnings of cooking these dishes. The sofrito is ready to go, so let's add in the fish broth. And now with the lobster heads, with the roe in there, that's gonna really bring up the flavor, and it creates an even richer red color. You just keep building the flavors and building the flavors. It's the whole chain of everything. The perfect flavor of the vegetable, the freshness of the fish, and when you have those perfect ingredients and bring them all together, then you have something that's really special. It's like meditation.
Para mí lo es. Y entonces es mejor entrar en la cocina con mucho tiempo, ir cocinando, y tu mente va.
Relax.
Yo cuando estoy muy estresada me voy a cocinar.
Hello, Ron.
Veronica.
I'm Veronica.
Veronica is grandma's manager.
Yes, I'm the
Mas,
coach of the team.
Oh, you coach,
explaining
okay.
what's all about, relaxing them, encouraging them, listening to the stories.
Oh, yeah. That's
No se puede.
Sometimes twice.
Me encanta la comida.
We call it in Catalan escalivar because that's what we are doing here. We are burning the skin from outside, it's turning black. And this you normally do on the fire, open air, and then we can peel it easily.
Oh, and those are some of the biggest red peppers I've ever seen. While the soup is simmering, Adela helps me prepare the escalivada and anchovies to top the traditional tomato bread.
Muy bien. Let's toast the bread.
Okay.
Any volunteer? No. And if we talk about tomato bread, this is a traditional Catalan thing. We are doing this daily for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner. It was like coming from the the old, the ancient breads were huge breads like that. So at the beginning it was okay, but at the end it was like dry. And Catalans discovered if you rub tomato on the bread, it softens the bread again. We want something smoother, just to go with the escalivada peppers and the anchovies. So.
Now that that's done, let's head back to the lobster.
All this richness, look at this.
All the good stuff. Getting every last bit of juice out of the lobster shell so you're not wasting any flavor. It's like squeezing a lemon out, scraping out all those good parts.
So you remember Ron de Sofrito, isn't it?
Okay.
Here we have the last station of many Catalan dishes called picada. And so in this case she's using almonds and raw garlic, and this will change the texture of the dish because of the crunchiness of the almonds.
So this is a finishing paste. So at the very end of the dish, we're going to add this to the soup.
This will be special. Pon. ¿También?
Sí, sí, es el agua que tenía dentro del lobster.
Una, dos.
Look at how rich this color has become from the lobster now. It's gone up now a whole nother level of color, obviously flavor. Broth is very intense, very nice.
Yo pienso que es muy bueno.
Oh, yeah. Muy bueno.
¿Tú crees que es bueno?
Cuando hacer esto es más bien
Que nada.
Sí.
Sí, sí. Bueno.
Let's add in the picada for a final touch.
Solo 5 minutos.
Only 5 minutes.
Solo, ¿eh?
While we wait for the soup to finish, Adela prepares our light dessert consisting of fresh pineapple sauteed in butter with a little brown sugar and black sesame seeds. And we added in some beautiful sauteed raspberries, all served with yogurt. And even a second to spare for a selfie.
Muy bien. Now we need to listen to Granny.
La mesa.
A la mesa. Oh, look at this. Oh. Okay, ladies first. Well, Grandma first. Thank you to Grandma for teaching me your favorite dish for your family. It's very special to me. And it's very nice to make new friends and be here in Barcelona for the first time. I feel so blessed and so lucky. Cheers. Salute.
Vamos a ver. Te lo voy a poner aquí.
Sí.
Esto es un arroz que se toma en 3 veces. La primera es una sopita.
Our slow-cooked soup has fully come to fruition. All of the time and love attributed to this meal shines through in a culmination of flavors in the first taste. Everything from the intense lobster broth to the smokiness of the paprika.
Vale. El segundo ya se sirve así. Este caldito se podía haber acabado, no importa, ¿eh?
And now the second course of a soupy rice consistency. The rice slightly al dente and the first taste of the delectable lobster.
¿Qué tipo de arroz es?
Bomba. Yo solo cocino con bomba.
And for the finale, the rice has fully absorbed the delicious broth to create a consistency similar to paella, a true culinary symphony.
3 times, and the 4th one is the siesta.
Well, not quite a siesta, but we finished our meal with dessert, a light alternative to the big lunch, and a sweet end to our time with friends at the Grandma Cooking School before re-entering the bustling city. In fact, it was so bustling that we stumbled into a major crowd of people marching through the streets. Let's go on in and see what it's all about. I spoke with a guy who was marching to defend his Catalan right to hunt sustainably.
All these people are hunting. These people are falconers, and a lot of people are different huntings, okay?
Oh, awesome. So what is happening with the laws that you're not allowed to hunt anymore?
Yes, the extreme animalists are telling is the hunt is needs don't stop, okay? All the people when hunt eat this meat, and it's very good meat for it. One pig into the farm, it's not good life. It's not good life. The wild pigs are more happy all his life in a different city from Spain. All is with this movement today.
This was all part of a wider regional protest happening all over Catalonia for political independence.
Thank you for all.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, good luck to you.
Speaking of politics, we broke away from all the craziness to the beach where we spoke with a Belgian gentleman about his take on the modern world.
One day I said to my grandma, I don't like the spinach. I eat my, no, and she put my in the spinach. I remember this for a while. I would say the Belgian cuisine is like between German and French. It's more refined than the Germans, but there's more in the dish than the French. We are living in a time that we have never been so communicated and so connected, and at the same time disconnected. And sitting at the table to have a dinner, it's the only intimate moment that you really can have and enjoy and communicate, and that's what's getting lost, and that's really a pity.
It is really a pity, though it's not as apparent in Barcelona. Here in the town square I see folks playing in the streets, interacting with their neighbors, a perfect place to meet Eve for a night of tapas.
We are going to have a bomba tapa, very traditional in this
Where does the name bomba come from?
Because it's an explosion happening in your mouth. You will see.
Oh.
Okay, so here we have the bombas, and as you can see, we have some spicy sauce on the top and some garlic oil. And if you open it, you will see the explosion. We have some meat inside that potato.
That looks amazing. Let's go ahead and give it a try. The olive oil, it's like a nice aioli on top.
That's it, so we have spiciness and the garlic from the aioli. Cap y pota, so the head and the feet of the cow. It's the tribe of the pork. Okay.
Being Sicilian, bread in the sauce is like you can't leave a great sauce
Without a piece of bread, isn't it?
That's like against the religion. What's really nice that I see in places like this, you see the grandma working in the kitchen with her family.
That's it. She's like the soul of the place.
Yeah. And that's what really determines the quality of the food, because she's not going to let anybody not make it like at home.
That's it.
I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. On to Eve's next favorite hotspot.
Shall we have a drink here?
Let's have a drink here. Well, maybe a bit more than just a drink. We stayed for the in-house jazz band, as well as some roasted pasilla peppers and my favorite, deep-fried artichokes. And finished it off with some corn-dusted cod. It's still early. It's only 8:30. Dinner doesn't start till 10. Meandered the streets towards Eve's favorite hot spot of them all. We sat down with some tall local brews and capped off the night with a pièce de la résistance. Filet mignon with caramelized onions and pan-seared foie gras. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go?
To get another one?
Yeah. No. You like it?
That's very good.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Very good. After a full day of amazing food, friends, fun, and multiple drinks, it's time to say goodnight and catch a cab back home and get some well-deserved rest. I need to refresh for another day of Catalonian exploration, starting with the Dia del Sant Jordi festival. Something like Valentine's Day, but way cooler. As the story goes, Sant Jordi was a hero that saved the princess from a dragon whose blood magically turned into a rose, which he presented to the princess, and just like that, they fell in love. And so today, it is a long-standing tradition for the men to give roses to the women, and the women to give books to the men. Why books? I'll leave that to your imagination. It's a very festive, romantic, and community-wide event with many lovers as well as acclaimed writers signing their books. In the spirit of the festivities, I thought it best to get a rose for our next grandma.
Hola, buen día. Mira, qué guapa.
Muy bueno. Gracias mucho.
Que tenga un feliz día. Muy amable.
Rosa amarillo para Barcelona.
And with that, we leave this beautiful city to explore the more peaceful countrysides of Catalonia in the small town known as Castellterçol. Where we'll be cooking with Grandma Angeles.
Muy bien. Oh, y amarilla, amarilla. ¿Qué hacemos? La tortilla con patatas y mientras tanto vamos a cocer el pescado.
As we settle into Grandma's kitchen, we get right to work.
Bueno, pues venga.
As we start chopping vegetables, I can't help but notice the trend that grandmas like cutting vegetables directly into their hands. It makes it all that much more special, I guess, and less cleaning. While we prepare the tortilla, we start the paella by sautéing the prawns.
Sí, más pequeño. Así. Muy bien. Así. Es muy tradicional. A Cataluña, ¿eh? Allí ponen conejo, ponen tocino y nosotros hacemos más de pescado. Todo pescado. No lo mezclamos.
Only seafood for this grandma. Potatoes have just a little longer to go. In the meantime, let's start adding flavors to our paella. Garlic, some chopped cilantro, and some peppers.
Muy bien.
Peel this down to get all the tough leaves out so it cooks.
Muy bien.
Adding the artichokes, my favorite food of them all. And now some huevos por la tortilla. That's what makes the difference in a dish like this. Is you have the fresh farm eggs, the fresh potatoes, the fresh onions, and when you do this in grandma's style of cooking, you have the best flavors, the best consistency. It smells so good too.
Resbala, resbala, un poco. Vigila.
Ready?
Así.
Uno, dos.
Muy bien, no pasa nada.
Muy bueno. We're adding some fresh blanched tomatoes, an old technique particular to grandmas. does not seem much these days. Suddenly, a peaceful feeling comes over me. That happy, nurturing, secure feeling of cooking with Grandma and the tranquility in her home. The smells and sights take me back to my childhood when a family friend from Catalonia would make paella for our families. Lost in the meditation together, we cooked this meal so quintessential to Catalonian life. Time to add a little cognac. Maybe a sip for me and Grandma. Almost time to stir in the bombas rice. And of course, with the rice comes the water. Just a few more moments of simmering. And voila, the paella is ready. We sat down to eat with Grandma and her son Daniel and conversed about the origin of the dish.
¿Quién ha enseñado?
Mi madre. Yo me casé a 20 años y no sabía nada de nada. Y cada día iba con mi madre, ¿cómo se hace, mamá, esto? Así, así, hija, y bueno, aprendí una vez casada.
As we chat and eat, we find out more about the ongoing discussion in Catalonia on independence.
Pero bueno, cada día hacen más independentistas.
Cataluña tiene muchos independentistas en los pueblos.
Girona, mucho. Y la gente joven, pues son los que han salido a estos independentistas. ¿Te gusta esto?
Muy.
Increíble.
I've never been to Catalonia, and I had a wonderful time with such lively, friendly, and proud people. From great beaches to amazingly fresh products, architecture ranging from Baroque to modernism, and music always lingering in the air. It all comes together to create a very distinct feel that is a true delight of the senses. Even with such beauty, I recognize every culture's wish to pursue their ultimate freedom as they see fit. This is no different in Catalonia, with recent strides towards independence from Spain. The one thing I can say is that no matter what, the people of Catalonia will always have fun.